He's going to do it again. Back-to-back wins.
Or Chase from the same place as Awesome Bill from Dawsonville wins at the Roval.
In what started out to be an extremely weird, wacky, tire strategy, crazy race, it ended up with the same road course result. Chase Elliott wins his 4th consecutive road course race. I mean, he's going to have 6 wins this year at this rate. I mean, seriously, it seems like he can't lose. It doesn't matter what happens. We've seen him dominate road course races, which is what he's done in every road course race up to this point. We've seen him drive into a wall, back out, come back around, win the race. And today, he might have had the best car, but he wasn't up front all day. He wasn't leading all day. In fact, he led, 20 laps or something? 27 laps, and the majority of those were like the last 20 because he had fresher tires. But they still managed to pull it off. Elliott gets his 4th road course win of his career, or 5th road course win of his career, his 4th in a row. And there just seems to be no end in sight for his road course winning days. In reality, though, I might go to COTA next year, and that's probably when the streak is going to end because my drivers just have bad luck when I show up. So if anyone takes Chase Elliott, it'll end at COTA. Don't worry, I'll be there, and it'll all be over then. But anyways, yeah, I don't know how the heck he does it. At the beginning of his career, he was like his first road course race at Sonoma, he got like 30th or something, and I was like, man, I can't wait till the road courses are over as a Chase Elliott fan. But then he just started doing really good. They put together really good cars, and he's been winning ever since. I mean, I don't know how, but Chase Elliott's got something down. I think he tied Jeff Gordon for the most consecutive road course wins, that record. So he's won 4 straight, so Gordon did that once. So very impressive run by Chase Elliott. You can't deny how good he is on road courses. I mean, seriously, 4 straight in 2 different packages. It's pretty insane. But yeah, different road courses as well. But he wins back-to-back at the Roval. I mean, I don't know what else to say other than he's just that good on road courses. But yeah, overall, the beginning of the race was absolutely insane. I loved the first stage. The first stage had me beyond confused and questioning everything. Ty Dillon started 17th, I believe, and he drove up, no gimmicks, no strategy, no weird crashes or anything. He drove up. They had to start on rain tires, which was like the first time in NASCAR history they had to start on rain tires in a race. The whole track was wet. It ended up drying a bit. The banking did, and then the infield was really wet, so you got to choose between slick tires, your normal racing tires, or the rain tires. But anyways, Ty Dillon drives up to 3rd place. 3rd. He went to 17 to 3rd in like 3 laps. Ty Dillon. That's right, Ty Dillon. And I was like, oh my gosh, Ty Dillon. Is he going to stay here? Well, strategy goes weird. There's a weird timed caution. John Hunter Nemechek gets stuck in the grass with about 4 to go in the stage. Some guys had pitted, some guys hadn't. And Ty Dillon was on slick tires because the banking, the oval part of the Roval, had really dried up. So the majority of your time on the track, you'd really dried up. And if you're on those slicker tires, you're really able to make up time. And when there is a dry part of the track and you're on the rain tires, it kills those tires. I mean, if you looked at some of the pictures of the wear, those things were worn once the track got dry, so they had to go seek out the damp areas of the track to run in to try to keep those tires on as long as possible. And then all of a sudden, there's a caution with 4 to go, and Ty Dillon wins stage 1. Ty Dillon was his 3rd career stage win. Bristol 2019, Talladega 2019, and now the Roval 2020. Ty Dillon was the stage winner. So that was a really wacky first stage. I just really wanted to talk about that before we got to the big thing. But obviously this was a cutoff race. 4 drivers were eliminated today. Those 4 drivers were Aric Almirola, Clint Boyer, defending champion Kyle Busch. That's right, Kyle Busch. If you remember, before this round, he said, I'm going to get eliminated. He did not believe in himself, but he was saying it out of frustration. He's saying, we're going to get eliminated this round. And then, of course, they got eliminated. He correctly predicted that. They were leading for a bit there late in the race. They had a shot at it, but could not quite finish it off. Had some issues, and then the 4th guy eliminated was Austin Dillon. So Austin Dillon, Kyle Busch, Aric Almirola, Clint Boyer, all their hopes are dead. They are out of the playoffs. Clint Boyer's last shot at a championship is over, and Kyle Busch's title defense is over as well. And then, of course, Almirola and Dillon's chances are over as well. But yeah, then the second stage and third stage, there was a lot of spins. Ryan Newman himself, I think, spun 50 times. Like, no joke. He spun 3 times in the last lap and about 6 other times the rest of the race. So it was somewhere more than 5 times he spun in this race. He spun a lot. We saw a late race incident between Truex and Kurt Busch. NASCAR, they didn't throw any cautions for any spins of that. The only incidents that they threw the caution for were when guys got stuck in the grass. We saw the 77 get stuck in the grass. They threw a caution for that. There was a big piece of debris on the front stretch or something. They threw a caution for that. John Hunter Nemechek being stuck in the grass. They threw a caution for that. So that's what they threw the cautions for. They were pretty consistent for the most part. Like guys like Ryan Newman ran off track. Keselowski spun off track and like started a parking lane or something with DiBenedetto and Jones. There was no caution there. So NASCAR overall, you know, NASCAR gets a lot of crap for being inconsistent on caution calls, on the double yellow line. But overall today, they were pretty consistent. If you spun out and you got out of the grass, you got it back going, you were fine. They wouldn't throw a caution. But then if Ty Dillon spins out, hits the barrier, and is stuck in the grass, they'll throw a caution. So overall, they were pretty consistent. NBC disappoints once again. Matt Kenseth went freaking head on into a barrier, and they didn't have any coverage of that. Once again, I know they have a limited camera crew there, but come on, a car goes head on into a wall. How do you miss that? It's a weird year. Anyways, other than that, no big stories, I guess. I mean, you had the playoff cutoff, which got really interesting once Kyle Busch took the lead. Clint Boyer was leading for a bit. So during those times, it was really intense, really crazy thinking about the playoff situation, but it ended up being nothing because obviously late in the race, none of those guys were really up there contending for the win. I mean, Kyle Busch was up there, but he was on old tires. He wasn't sure if he was going to make it on fuel, so there was no saying if he was going to be able to win. There was no real chance, especially when all the guys in front of him had fresher tires. There was no chance of him winning. So, yeah, that kind of was on or off all day, but at the end, there was no drama for the playoffs. But yeah, let's go through the results. Chase Elliott gets his 4th consecutive road course win. I'm stunned. I mean, seriously, I really don't know how, but that team's got something down. Hendrick in the 750 package, they got something down there. But the next year they are going to thrive at these road courses. I'm telling you. We got 6 road courses next year. They are probably so happy about that this year. Then Joey Logano finishes 2nd. Honestly, I never think of Joey Logano as a road racer, but he had a really good day today. He was in the top 10 consistently, I would say. Collected stage points. He finished 7th or something in both the stages and then ends up with a runner-up finish. I think that's a really good run for him. So, good run for Joey Logano. Eric Jones in 3rd. Eric Jones trying to find a new ride for next year. He's trying to show owners, hey, look, I'm here to stay. I really want to be in a competitive ride. This is a good run. The Charlotte Roval is a very difficult track, and a top 5 run there, even leading a couple laps there. That's a really good run. That's a really good way to show yourself at Rovals or at road courses, difficult tracks. So that's a good run for Eric Jones. Kurt Busch with a 4th place finish. Some good momentum rolling into the round of 8. Of course, that win at Las Vegas advanced them in, so it didn't matter what they did today. They flipped at Talladega about, and then, of course, today a top 5 run. So a really good day for Kurt Busch. 5th place, Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney, he had a weird day. He led a bunch of laps. He won stage 2. He spun himself out of the lead, got a pit road penalty, but he came back for his top 5. So pretty impressive comeback for him, considering he spun himself out of the lead, had a pit road speeding penalty, and came all the way back for a 5th place finish. So really good result for Ryan Blaney considering how it started. 6th place, William Byron. Good day for him, honestly. I think he's an underrated road course racer. He's both the 2019 or 2 of the 3 2019 races, he led laps, he qualified up front, but the thing about them was they got damaged with the 18 and Kyle Busch at Watkins Glen, and at Sonoma they were points racing. They were in a bubble situation for the playoffs, so they had to points race versus going for the win. So they never really got a shot to go for the win, But William Byron with the 6th place finish, a really good run for him. He led 27 laps today, so as I said, a really good run for him. 7th is Martin Truex Jr. spun on that final lap, I think. 7th place finish, not bad. We know him as a really good road course racer. He was up front early on in the race, faded back a little bit, some strategy threw him around, but he ends up getting a top 10 and advancing. 8th, Alex Bowman. Alex Bowman with a weird day. Got some damage. He was back in the pack for a bit. He was up in the top 10. He was just outside the top 10. He was up there leading for a bit, and then he finishes 8th, but he advances, so he did what he had to. 9th, Cole Custer. Good run for him, to be honest. He's out of the playoffs, but a really good run for him. Yeah, good for him. 10th, Clint Boyer. Unfortunate end to Clint Boyer's day. He had a really fast car. Ran top 5 for a lot of the day until an incident on the restart. He hit someone, made some contact. It damaged his nose. He got like power steering went away or something. They just never got the speed back that they had early on in the day. And ends up being a 10th place finish for Boyer, so a top 10, but unfortunately it does eliminate him from the playoffs in his final season. He's only got 4 races left to go get a win. I'm looking at Martinsville for Clint Boyer. I think that's his best opportunity. 11th, Kevin Harvick. He literally just had to finish stage 1 and he would have clinched, which he did. So, yeah, he did what he had to, simply said. 12th, Tyler Reddick. 13th, Jimmy Johnson. No Roval redemption for Jimmy Johnson. He was involved in an incident with Stenhouse. Stenhouse like pinned him against the wall or something. 14th, Ryan Preece. This is what I want to talk. This is what I wanted to talk about. Before the race, it was supposed to rain. Sorry, my stand kind of fell there for a second. But Ryan Preece. So before the race, they were like, it's going to rain during the whole race. And I was like, I'm not going to pick Elliott. Like, I'm going to change it to Ryan Preece because that just seems like a really random pick, right? And with like 20 or 30 to go, Ryan Preece was leading this thing. I'm talking like holding off Alex Bowman, Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano. He eventually got passed, but I was so proud of him. Attaboy Ryan Preece, and he ends up getting 14th. So leading some laps, running up front late. Attaboy Ryan Preece, I'm proud of you. 15th, Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin spun out like 3 times. He was in the top 5 for a bit, but then falls back to 15th. 16th, Eric Almirola, not good enough, gets eliminated. 17th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 18th, Brad Keselowski. Good day for him to survive. That's all he had to do, led a few laps. 19th, Austin Dillon was in a crash early on. Was able to rally back for a 19th place finish, but obviously not enough to advance him in the playoffs. 20th, Chris Buescher. 21st, Bubba Wallace. 22nd, Matt DiBenedetto. 23rd, your stage winner, Ty Dillon. 24th, Christopher Bell. He was up front a lot of the day, led some laps due to the weird strategy. 25th, Daniel Suarez. 26th, Greg Galding. 27th, Corey LaJoie. 28th, Quinn Houff. 29th, James Davidson. 30th, Kyle Busch had to pit there at the end. He ran out of fuel, so ends up with a 30th place finish. That did not show his speed today. I think he had top 5 speed, top 10 speed at worst, but unfortunately runs out of fuel while running in the top 10, had to pit. 31st, Ryan Newman, more like spin Newman because he spun like 20 times. 32nd, Michael McDowell. Speaking of people who spin out, he spun like 3 times in one lap. Josh Bilicki, 33rd. Matt Kenseth, 34th, just decided to drive into a barrier with no evidence. 35th, J.J. Yeley. 36th, John Hunter Nemechek. 37th, Brennan Poole. 38th, Timmy Hill. Timmy may have finished dead last, but look at this. Timmy Hill in Stage 1 finished 5th. That's right, the MBM Motorsports car that runs 35th to 40th every week finished 5th in Stage 1. And he held off guys like Ryan Newman, Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano, Bubba Wallace, Eric Jones, Jimmy Johnson. And he held on for that 5th place finish. That's what I'm talking about. We had Ty Dillon win the stage and Timmy Hill 5th. So let's go, baby. Timmy Hill. Love me some Timmy Hill. But anyways, that's all I got. The 4 guys eliminated, as I said. Kyle Busch, Eric Almirola, Austin Dillon, Clint Boyer. Advancing on is Chase Elliott, the winner. Joey Logano, obviously. Kurt Busch, obviously. Martin Truex Jr., Alex Bowman, Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, and Brad Keselowski. Those are your Elite 8, Eliminator 8, whatever the heck they call it now. They have so many words for it, but that's your 8. There you go. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this race recap. It was such a wacky start to this race with the rain tires and stuff, and then they ended up trying to switch tires, and there was a weird time caution. Ty Dillon won a stage. It was a really weird start to the day. Stages 2 and 3, I think they had some good racing throughout the pack. It was really cool to see different guys up front, like Ty Dillon, like Eric Jones, like Ryan Preece. I think that made it really interesting. And then the times where Boyer and Kyle Busch were up front, that made it interesting. It ends up resulting in a Chase Elliott win somehow, but definitely, I don't think it definitely wasn't as good as I think the 2018 race is still the best Roval race that we've seen. As compared to last year, I think it was probably better than last year's just because the rain factor made it so much more interesting. So I'll give it an 8.4 out of 10 as a rating. 8.4. Not the greatest Roval race ever, and then obviously not a terrible race. I think it was a good, solid race. Nothing extraordinary happened where like Truex and Johnson wrecked each other out of the win for Blaney. Keselowski drove off a cliff, but it was a solid, good NASCAR race. So 8.4 out of 10 is my rating. Yeah, let me know what you think of the race. We got the round of 8 coming up. I'll give a round of 8 preview sometime this week, and we'll have fun with that. Thanks again for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, share, all that stuff.